What's up? Who just came in here? I'm walking down to my shop. Gotta get out of the house. What's going on, Newberg? Profit wages. Hey, yo. What's going on tonight, fellas? You'll be able to see me in a little bit here. I'm just walking to my shop. Just put the kids to bed. My wife's working on some stuff, and I just taking a stroll to the shop. Taking a stroll to the shop, to the office. It's a beautiful night in Minnesota. Who else is in here? I see there's 4 of you guys. Anyone got anything to say? From you in trucking, or let me know. Newbergs, I know you're in here all the time, but you're from Ohio, right? Or Idaho? Hopefully I get service in here. Yeah, I live kind of out in the country, Greg. So it sucks. It's really bad, actually. All right, let me see what you guys. Am I actually good right now, or am I all jacked up? Let me know. Okay, let's see here. What's up, Alex? Oh, man. Good to hear from you, Alex. Perfect. Crystal clear. Perfect. So let me just, okay, question profit wages. Okay, I'm going to answer your question, profit wages, but you got to let me know where you're from and what you do for a living. You in trucking now. Profit wages asks, has Corona affected trucking in your area? That's a great question. I'm wondering what's up with you guys. That's kind of what I'm on here for, kind of seeing what you guys are seeing. I'm seeing lots of issues in trucking. It's definitely it's affecting me. I'm doing okay, but it is affecting us. It's hard to tell because they got something called road postings on right now. So usually the construction season takes off once the frost is all the way out of the ground. Because right now when you haul heavy, it wrecks the road. So a lot of construction doesn't really start till after those are done. So that's when we'll really be able to tell what's going on. But I mean, I've had buddies that have been losing contracts like left and right. This is in the dry van industry. Then I've had, I just lost I didn't lose it, but they're basically rotating plants, the ones that they use. So I pretty much do the hauling at that plant, and that plant shut down for the week. One of my really good friends just called me and asked if he could drive for me or put his truck on with me. He hauls cars, and the company that he's leased on to, that he hauls cars with, they're shut down for 2 months. Like, are you freaking kidding me? This is nuts. So I don't know. I feel like the media makes it seem like trucking is just in this high demand right now, but there's only a couple things that are really moving. I mean, obviously there's more than a couple, but but I think we'll get through it. Um, Sorry guys, I'm way behind in the comments here, but Alex, I don't know if you're okay. I'm in the car hauling industry and it's really tanking. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, my buddy, who do you haul for? I used to haul for Sierra Mountain. My buddies used to be with Sierra Mountain, but then now he is with what is he with? Something that starts with an A, like AS something. The logging industry is good. Is flatbed surviving? Is flatbed surviving? I'm sure it's surviving. I don't think it's thriving. I don't know. I don't know though. I don't know. That's one thing that I'm not. Well. That's one of many things that I don't know much about is flatbedding. I know a little bit about it. I've done it before. Uh, Noodlers, do you do towing? Because I'm friends with a tow truck company and they're slow, but luckily they've been stockpiling cars for years or for a long time. So they got lots of cars they can haul in and cash in on. But there's no cars out. I mean, no one's breaking down because there's no flipping cars on the road. To answer your question, Alex, about the insurance rates, um, they're crappy. I mean, I feel like they're way too high. But I don't know. Containers are still rolling and reefer's hot in Chicago. Laid off the crew. You own the tow company, Newberg? You work there? Yeah. I mean, things like towing you think is be recession proof, until no freaking cars are driving around. It's unbelievable. You know what I don't understand? I don't know if you guys follow the stock market, but the stock market, I feel like I don't feel like it should be going up. I don't know. The whole economy is in a shutdown and the stock market's, well, it's way low, obviously, you guys know that, but it seems like it should keep going lower. Do you haul big rigs, Newberg? You rescue the tractor trailers? You do the towing for those, or just cars, or what? You put some money in Carnival? Yeah, I don't know. I like um, Royal Caribbean a lot. I mean, just like I like the experience. I feel like they're a really good company. Wow, 30 flipping trucks, huh? That's cool. It's a really cool industry. I know, I'm thinking so too. I feel like there's some money to be made there for sure. I really feel like the market's going to go down more, but that's just a guy that trucks for a living, I don't know. I don't know. I guess just if I was gonna do it, I'd follow Warren Buffett's theory, which is just buy a stock that you'd want to own the whole company. Make sure they have a lot of cash on hand to weather a storm. Yeah, I hear you. We're not too flipping cool right now. I just finished buying a dry van, thinking about jumping ship. What do you think? getting into doing some dry van versus hauling cars. Is that what you're thinking, Alex? Do you do over the road or local? You got a connection, or just gonna run a spot market? Yeah, I guess what the heck? Why not? If you're willing to go over the road, I think you can do pretty good. Local is kind of local. I think you can, if you don't have like, I think you could do fine local too, but you're not gonna make. I feel like if you were willing, like if you were willing to go over the road, you'd probably have an opportunity to make better money. But being local, I think I think you'll I think you can pay for your payments, and basically what you can do, in my opinion, is make your payments on your equipment and make your personal payments, and then from there you can basically break even, cover your nut, and be happy with that. You might not be killing it, but the spot market, from what I've seen locally, it's just hit or miss. And I'm not a super big expert on it, Alex, but that's just, you know, maybe some of the other guys in here might have some more input on that. What area are you in, Chicago? Or is that Profit Wages that's in Chicago? Where are you out of, Alex? I'm looking back here. I know you said. Maybe you didn't say. Yeah. What you say, Eric? Have you borrowed your local, or have you browse your local over for power only loads? I haven't. So okay. So I don't do. I've been doing a lot of networking with just people that I know. I don't have a subscription to a load board, but I have friends that do. It's not that I'm too cheap to, it's just that I don't usually need to, which is, I don't know. What I do, I get kind of know everybody that does it, so you just call them and see if you can help out or whatever. But this is what I know about that. It's uh it's not the greatest. Uber Newblurg. I don't know. I feel like I'm saying your name wrong. Newblurg. It's the new way of saying your name. If I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. I have a friend that's named Newberg, and that's definitely not Newblurg, but I get it mixed up. Okay, so I am saying it right. Newblurg. Okay. But anyways, back to your question. It's out there. I don't think it's. I mean, I don't know. It's worth a shot to see what you can find, but most of the stuff that's local is pretty rough. But like an owner operator like Alex, I think he could make it work. I mean, I don't know. I've always heard Florida's really bad for rates, but I don't personally know what. I don't even know what that means. I feel like it's still got to work. What kind of equipment do you have, Alex? You got a 6-7 car, or like a 3-pack, or what do you got? I got a '07 Wallymo for sale. I don't think that's gonna sell anytime soon. And then also new board. Um, I just signed up with Amazon and to do their power only. Even though I have two dry vans, I'm renting them out. So it's like, why pull, why get my trailers back that someone's paying, me to rent when I could just whatever. So, um, yep, I got a car trailer for sale. And Amazon, I, I am not the I have never worked for Amazon. So what I was saying is I did sign up with them because I was kind of wanted to, you know, trucking's supposed to be so hot right now. So and Amazon's probably a big player in that. So I figured, what the heck? Why not check into Amazon? Well, I mean, I went on their load board and it was like, I mean, the freight was shockingly low, like $1.07 one way freight going places. There was some $2 stuff, but it was all like, you'd have to just one way and then you have to get freight coming back. Then they did have some drop and hook stuff that paid like $1.50 a mile, I think, or less. And it was a two night thing. I mean, you weren't even home in the same night. It was rough. It was really rough. Then, so I just decided, yeah, I'm going to cut my losses with that. I'm just not worth it to do. Then they emailed and they said, hey, sign up to be one of our, like, to name your price. So then you name your price and then basically you just tell them the criteria of what you're willing to do. So you say power only. Uh, and then I did power only, but you could do trailer, power only, whatever you want to do. You could do anything. How many miles you want to go, what terminals you want to go to or leave out of, stuff like that. So I put all that in, which I'm very picky because I want to be local and I want to use their trailer. And I actually so I said I'll go 500 miles away. And then I was thinking $1,100 to go 500 miles, which is, over $2 a mile. And then I decided, you know what, $2 a mile would be like for what I need it for or want it for. Why not just, I don't need to be super profitable. So I put in there $2 a mile, whatever. And then a couple of days later, I got an email notification that I basically got awarded a job, but then wasn't what I asked for. It was a 700-mile round trip thing going to, I think it was actually going to Ohio. And then it was, what the heck was it? It was like 1,100. It wasn't $1,100. It was like $1,025, which is like terrible. And you can't even be there. You can't, it's a 2-day trip. So I don't know. It was terrible. I am not an authority on Amazon, guys, but this is my experience with it. Yeah, and like Trucker Style Sean, who I've heard of, but I don't know who he is. Like I definitely have heard of him. There's lots of people that do it and do well. I think it depends on the area you live in. And then I don't think you start out at the top either. I think you got to do the crap work and work your way up to getting like dedicated routes that actually are worth doing. So that's what I'm assuming. I don't know though. My motto is there's money in everything. If someone's doing it, they got to figure out a way to make it worth doing, and there's money in it. You just got to figure out where it's at. Okay, so you got 2 trucks. You run them both? Are you hauling new cars, Alex, or used? Yeah, you're telling me profit wages $1.07. Crazy. My trailer hauls 4 cars, Greg. It's a four. They call it a 4-pack in the industry. It's. Let me see here. It's basically a 53-foot trailer, and then it has a hydraulic arm on the front of it, Greg, right over the fifth wheel. So then you can lift one car up and tuck another car under it. So you can almost get four. You can actually get 4 SUVs on it. So it's a true 4-car. What are they hauling? Newberg? They hauling coils or something? Is that $1.15 a round trip mile, Newberg, or is that just one way? I can pull my trailer with any tractor trailer, but I haven't used it and I haven't personally pulled it since I was pulling with my green Freightliner, Columbia. I don't know. Today's got me having spring fever. It was a beautiful day in Minnesota today. One-way freight, $1.15. I mean, that is not good. But you could live off of it. I mean, you could do it, but it's not anything to write home about. No, I don't know. It's not. It's too. I got a. It's air ride and it's a really heavy duty trailer, Greg. Air ride, air brakes. It's got an I-beam on it. Yeah, man. I mean, especially if you already have another truck, I do think it's scary, like with the car hauling business. I asked you this earlier, but are you hauling new cars? I mean, that scares me. Putting a driver and hauling new cars, the liability is. I mean, obviously, it's unbelievable. I don't know about that profit wages. Here's what I would say: if you have the money to expand, it's probably okay time. I feel like there's a lot of people that are going to get hurt really bad that don't have the money. So if you have the money, I think it might be try to expand. I don't exactly know how that looks. I don't know how. I'm not saying get an extra truck and put it on the load boards. Now, if that's what you need to do for right now, that's what you need to do. There's a lot of just, I feel like a way to look at it right now is you got to survive to prosper later right now. It might not be expansion time right at the minute, right at the moment. What's interesting is back when we had the recession in 08, I was getting into buying real estate. After the market had already went down, and we were fixing flipping houses, my dad and me were, and we didn't do a very good job at it. We got hosed. So not going to be able to give any insight on that. But what ended up happening was we got hard money loans, and then we couldn't refinance the properties. They weren't appraising because the appraisal companies were all scared to give a higher valuation. You had to let it sit for 6 months to get it to be a seasoned loan or whatever. And then the loans officer, like when you go to apply for a loan, they're making you jump through all sorts of crazy hoops. They didn't want to give out any loans. And I feel like that's kind of happening now. I don't know if any of you guys went to the bank to try to get a loan, but they don't really want to loan money right now. Yeah, used cars, that sounds awesome, Alex. That sounds really cool. I mean, that I'm assuming you do pretty good with that normally. I think that's if it's worth it. I think it's definitely worth it. Uh, if you know, it's definitely worth it to expand. You just have to be patient with drivers, they're just whatever. As long as you can stomach have the patience and stuff like that, then I would do it. Especially you already have another truck. Newberg, you looking for work for your boss or something? You willing to jump in the truck and do some hour only for him so other people can work, or what are you guys doing? Or what are you thinking? Yeah, I'm doing a little preaching today. Doing a little preaching. Yeah, sometimes, Newberg. If you go back to look at some of my videos, I did like 3 or 4 videos where it was like pitch dark. It was like the screen just as black. I was hauling asphalt. I don't know if you've seen any of those asphalt videos, but yeah, I was on prevailing wage jobs then. But normally I do not do prevailing wage. Like pretty much that's the only time I've ever done it. I mean, when I was a true owner operator, I used to do prevailing wage stuff, but that was the first time I ever billed it out myself. You guys familiar with prevailing wage? Is there really a trucker shortage or high turnover rates? Is in a truck like a driver shortage, or like are you talking about enough trucks to do what we need to do? Profit wages. Yeah, you're right about that, Greg. There you go. Alex, today I had 6 trucks running today. Tomorrow I have 4 trucks running, which is not normal. Normally I got them all running. You know, prevailing wage is it pays hourly, and usually hourly you can't lose in trucking if you're getting paid hourly. I don't I don't think hourly is the holy grail, but it is what it is. I mean, it's just one of those things that it's hard to lose if it is hourly. So it's good. It's hard from a company standpoint um, to get an hourly job and then afford to pay a company driver, uh, because what they get, so like usually prevailing wage pays a little bit better than a normal trucking rate, but it pays about 5 times as good for a driver. So like really in Minnesota, the only people that do prevailing wage are owner operators, because it's hard to afford to pay prevailing wage to a driver, a company driver, unless you charge over the going rate for the prevailing wage work, which is possible, but it's just it's a hard question to answer. But ask me more questions about it if you'd like. The more specific, the better, and then I can help you with it. So, what do I tell the 2 drivers with no work tomorrow? One of the drivers is me, and then the other one just he's been with me long enough so he knows this is weird. But I found out that I'm not one of my main uh basically accounts. That's like a huge account of mine. The cement plant, they're not even running this whole week, so I don't know. The guy, he wants to be laid off, so I told him fill out his paperwork, which annoys me because I want to figure out a way to keep him working, but it's kind of a sore subject. But he doesn't want to work. He would rather just sit on unemployment. So that's what he's gonna do, and then he'll come back when I need him. Let's see here. Let's see here. Time to buy the wifey something. Yeah, she needs a new Nolly 3500 black. That's what she wants. I'll surprise her with that for her birthday, Greg. It's in August. Okay, let's see here. My uncle was part of the Chicago hired truck scandal and was getting $1,000 a shift, running 3 trucks, 2 shifts a day for 9 months. 2 shifts a day for 9 months. It was snug scandal. The mayor had his aunt get a truck too. So that they do prevailing wage in Chi-Town, profit wages. And then he was running 3 trucks. He was getting 1,000 a piece per shift. So then he was basically the 3 trucks were making him, he was grossing $6,000 a 24-hour period. Is that what you're saying? Profit wages? Alex, I have 6 trucks, 5 are tractor trailers, and then I have 1 dump truck, and I have right around 10 end dumps or 10 trailers, including my car hauler and my 2 dry vans. But I make a lot of my money in dispatching / brokering, uh, Alex. I'm usually dispatching a lot of owner operators. and little fleet owners. I'm usually dispatching. I'm usually running about 10 to, on the high side, 15 trucks a day. And right now it's just my own that's going out. It was a scandal. The city hired contractors and they had their own trucks. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, in Minnesota, there's some big trucking companies that have gotten lots of trouble with the prevailing wage, trying to avoid paying their drivers prevailing wage. And then they end up going to jail because it's worse than tax evasion. So it's nothing to play around with, that's for sure. So, Alex, are you like dead in the water with the used cars, or you still putting food on the table for the family, or what do you got going on? You got to totally reinvent yourself. Yeah, they actually are Newellberg concrete mixer trucks. Anything on that's on a state job, they're not all the time if they're delivering to a like a residential neighborhood or something, but the driver is and the truck is prevailing wage. I don't really understand it though, because if I go and I deliver a load of like blacktop or not blacktop, black dirt to a highway project, and I stockpile the black dirt and they move it with a skid steer, then it's a different rate. There is no prevailing wage rate. It's a delivery trucking versus when you dump a load like in a road and it's getting pushed by a dozer or paved, the pavers coming back and paving it, then it's like then it's the construction rate. See, and it's probably every state's probably different, but they get one thing too that I know, and I'm not an expert on it, on the how the cement trucks drivers work exactly, is what they get is they do they make good money anyways, so it might not even affect what they're doing. Yeah, I do. My email address is Eric, ERIC, at twincityhauling.com. Look at that. Heart Post-its. Whenever I need to have a driver do something, I write a Post-it on a heart message and I stick it in the truck for him. I hear you there, Alex. That's smart. I would just, yeah, I would just try to. I would just try to. It's gonna be hard to find something to replace what you're doing since you have been doing it for so long. You probably do really well at it, but you just got to start somewhere. I mean, this is kind of what I'm telling myself. You know, if you, you're starting at the bottom and you're working your way up in a different industry. So there's gonna be some learning curve. The virus, it's not like crazy like, New York or something like that, but I mean, there's people that I know that have had it and people that I know people that have had it, and I mean, it's a real thing. One thing I will say that's weird is, like my uncle's mom got it. She's in a nursing home and she's totally fine. So I don't get it. So she's totally fine, but then somebody like in their 40s is almost they're on a ventilator, you know. So they say, which I believe. I don't know, but it's just crazy. How about where you're at, Greg? My area. This was the first day profit wages that we were on a lockdown where only essential businesses were supposed to be out or grocery shopping stuff. And I don't get it. There was more cars out today than last week. So I do not get it. Two cases, that's all that you have where you're at? That's awesome. You guys aren't even shut down then, huh? I would assume. You guys should lock your borders up. Only let loads of toilet paper in. Might as well. Florida, man, they're bad. You guys are not doing that. What's going on out there, Alex? That's Orlando. I don't know what they're doing. You guys are probably fine in Orlando. Really, they dropped. Yeah, no problem, Alex. They dropped the. So we're actually going down in cases in Chicago. Wow, that's good. That's a blessing because I figured Chicago would be one of the next spots that just goes crazy. So my email is Eric ERIC at twincityhauling.com. Yeah, lots of people out of work, that's for sure. Sounds like the government bailed out JFK Learning Center though, so that's good. They got a $25 million bailout. Just what I heard. Yeah, I heard that about that infant. I have my youngest son, he's 6. And he kind of has some respiratory issues, so we're kind of nervous about him, but My wife's been following this since it's been in China, and I guess vitamin C really does good for the fighting the virus. So we got enough vitamin C for hopefully 2 lifetimes. Yep. I hear you, Greg. You still on here, Newberg? I'm gonna ask you if you ever thought about doing sand and gravel out in your area with the tow truck business. Was that in Chicago? Profit wages, where the infant died. I mean, honestly, in Minnesota right now, the hospitals, no one's even going to the hospital. It's actually slow right now in Minnesota, from what I've heard. But one thing about Minnesota is we're pretty diverse on all our different industries we have here, but we're pretty big time medical people here. We got the Mayo Clinic, and I don't know, we got some pretty good hospitals. Okay. Now, can we get this virus 2 times? I saw a headline about the second time you get it, and I didn't watch the video. But then I couldn't find it later on. Yeah, I don't know, Greg. I've thought of that myself. I mean, let's get rid of all the people that are old and have issues where, you know, I don't know. I hope not. I could see it if it was a China thing. I mean, I'm just, you know, they have way too many people there, but I don't know. I don't see us killing off our own people. I hope we're better than that. Just because somebody's old doesn't mean they're not valuable. I don't know. But if it's about money and they don't want to pay pensions and stuff, can't afford to pay it. But from all the printing of money that they just did, they could have just paid the people's pension. So I don't know. What are you guys gonna spend your $1,200 check on? Or do you guys all make too much money and you're not gonna get that check? All right, Alex, have a good one. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah. Yeah, what did Alex say? He's gonna hit the hay. I think I'm gonna go take my stroll back to the house. Hopefully my kids didn't all wake up and tied my wife up or something crazy. Sorry, guys. Wasn't leaving like that. Hey, you guys should give me a thumbs up if you guys are still in here. Looks like I don't have any thumbs up. What is it? Most of my fam got the military background. Some stupid crap for sure. Yeah, I know. I hear you on that. Yep. $1,200. You're gonna sit on it like a hen on eggs? I used to have a chicken coop, so I know what that's like. That's funny. Thank you for that visual. Can't even go to the casino with it. No, I'm not. No, I'm not vegan. I'm keto right now. I've been doing that for, I don't know how long I've been doing that for, but I am keto, so I've almost lost. I'm close to losing 20 pounds. I tried being vegan for about, it lasted for about 30 minutes back when that was a long time ago. Wait, vegan, vegetarian? Yeah, I tried being vegan. I had a veggie brat and that was it. I couldn't do it anymore. Why do you ask if I'm vegan? Do I look vegan or something? Who's Adam's mentor? I don't. Adam, he doesn't necessarily have a mentor, but he's just been doing it for a long time. He's a couple of years older than me, and he's been a fleet owner for probably about 15 years. One really cool thing about him is he went to a private high school, and he met some really, like, when he was at high school, that was his network of his influence of people, and one of the many people that he knows, but one of them come on now, I hope I don't look vegan. That sounds terrible. No, anyways, back to Adam. He basically he just knows a lot of good people. All right, holler at you later, Greg. Thanks for stopping in. Like, somebody that he introduced me to Profit Wages is his bank. The bank's like the eighth largest bank in Minnesota, and it's a family owned bank. They have, like, I don't know how many branches they have. And Adam with uh went to high school with the son whose dad owns the bank. Dad and grandpa own the bank. So we do all of our banking there. The bank owns a busing company, and they have over 1,000 buses. So they really get how to run a business, and they get, like, equipment financing, and they're awesome people. So yeah, it is. I'm not a I don't it's not my goal for my kids to go to private school, but yeah, he definitely benefited off of the people that he, grew up with. he got into trucking because one of a mutual friend of ours that he introduced me to again. His dad has been end dumping for his like probably 30 years with one company, and he paid for private school for his son and daughter, and then Adam was like best friends with this guy, the guy that does whose dad was a truck driver, and basically, so that's why Adam wanted to drive truck, was because of this guy's dad, who we work with to this day. He still drives and stuff. So I don't know. Kind of, it's all about having the courage and the belief in yourself that you can do it. And if you don't have it, you got to leverage that. You got to have somebody that believes in you and encourages you to do something, because most people they're not going to encourage you, and they're going to point out all the risks. That's what I feel. So anyways, I better get out of here. Make sure my wife didn't get tied up by my kids back at the house. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Have a good evening. Holla at you later. Corona safe. Yeah, you too, Profit Wages, especially in Chicago. Might need to walk around with a gun or something in Chicago. Maybe anyways. I don't know. All right. Next video, can you touch on your day dry van rentals? Thanks. Dry van rentals. What do you want to know about the dry van rentals, Newberg? I'll just do it real quick. No, I gotcha. What do you want to know about them though? Like, how do I make money? Or I have two dry vans. They're 2011s. I bought them for, I don't know, I can't remember what I bought them for. I've had them for a couple years, but bought them and basically rented them out for $800 a piece per month, and then did that for a few months, and now I'm only getting $500 a month for them now. Which I don't feel like is enough, but I feel like that's you. I mean, $1,000 a month, that's a lot of money for, two cheap dry vans. But I think, you have to have a good contract or know the person. It does, yep. Normal wear and tear. So basically, I don't have any real expenses other than having to pay, whatever, if I have a mortgage on them or whatever, a loan. I don't think it's the greatest thing in the world, but that's what I did, and it made a lot more sense at $800 a week, or no, a month. I was charging $800 a month. That was good money, $1,600. So for two, I was making $1,600, and now I'm making less. But I like the people that I'm renting to, and I have a good relationship with them. And it's like, at this point, it's just easy. I don't want them back, So, all right, we'll talk to you later, Newberg. Thanks for asking the question. Have a good night, guys.